are looking at the bottom now. We are at a depth of 3,215 meters. We're about 8 meters off of the bottom.
When shall stop?
My name is Shirley Pomponi. I'm the biology lead on this leg of this mission, and I'm joined by Patty Fryer, who's the geology lead.
All right, watch leads. It's pilot.
Go ahead, pilot.
All right. Well, we had some strong currents today at the surface. Feels okay down here so far.
Coming down with you.
Yeah, we're just reaching the bottom, and we'll be ready to start zooming on your request here pretty soon.
Roger that. Thank you.
Bridge from nav.
Okay.
We're sitting on a pile of loose, small fragments of rock, and looks like cobble to boulder-sized fragments, probably what we call talus, or just a pile of rock that's fallen off the cliff.
Okay, and if at any time, those of you, the shore-based science team, if at any time you are having audio or video problems, please go into and have a private chat with Roland Bryan. You can see his name listed on the right-hand side of the chat room list. So if you have any audio or video problems, speak privately with Brian, chat privately with Brian. Thanks. Sorry, with Roland. Sorry.
There's so many new names out here for us.
Oh, wow. Oh, look at that.
Isn't it cute?
Yep, it's a polychaete.
Polychaete worm.
More stable, I'll zoom in more.
And his little legs are moving him through the water. It's just gorgeous.
Hi everyone. This is Casey.
Hi, Casey.
Hi.
This is Casey Kentwell.
Casey is our expedition coordinator.
Okay, so Sirius is facing
I
me
just
at
wanted to remind everything about a couple things while we've been operating so shallow recently.
05. Hold on,
we've been very lucky in that every movement that we ask for from the ship and from the navigators is very quick. But when we are operating at about 3,000 meters, it's going to take quite a while for the ship to move, for any sort of position movement for the ship, anytime we ask them to stop. So what we'll need to be aware of today is if you want to keep sort of moving and moving up slope, making sure that we hit the end of the transect,
so I can saddle
we're going to need to sort of keep moving, and we may be limited about when we can and cannot stop to sample, and when we can and cannot stop to zoom and image things. So it's not an unsurmountable challenge, but it is something to keep in mind as we go throughout the day. So please be sure that when you guys are keeping an eye on how far we're going, listening to the navigator, and making sure that you are aware of what sort of the situation is with the vehicle, the ship, and D2, Sirius, and the ship.
Yep, thanks very much, Casey, because every time we have to stop and move the ship, it could take 30 minutes to an hour. So, and we only have about 3.5 hours. So we want to make sure we can traverse the entire dive track. So shall we zoom in and begin to look at these features and start moving up slope?
Yeah, so I'd recommend asking the navigator to go ahead and start moving, ask for the position to keep moving up the hill, and zoom in while you're basically keep the navigator moving for most of the day, unless there's something that you really want to sample, and be particular about your samples today. So not just any sample, but really very valuable samples, because it will cut into bottom time.
It would take a lot of time, right?
Yeah. It's going to be logistically challenging today.
But we need to get good imagery.
That's an average
video.
pace. 0.2 is typically what we do. And we also have like a 15-minute delay. So
watch lead. I'm just talking to the bridge on the right.
Yep.
A lot of tether bounce. Bridge. Going on.
Go ahead, watch lead.
Over.
Yeah, we got bigger swells today, I think.
Hello, bridge. Could we have the first move, please?
Hold on 1 second.
That is 40 meters to a bearing 290.
Okay, go ahead, watch lead.
And a speed of 0.2 knots.
Yep, we just called in a move.
Good copy, bridge.
Did I hear something about wanting a rock? Or no? Okay. Zoom in. I'm pulling you now.
22 delta, 45. Yeah, I'll come down a little bit. See what I can get there.
Go ahead, Roland. Okay, I got more tether now. Can
Looks
come in.
like a barnacle.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
We have a
We have a stalk barnacle
stalk
there.
barnacle for our first fauna today.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. I can get closer rolling.
Okay, so watch lead nav.
Pulling out a little bit.
Go ahead, watch lead.
Yep, we're going to want to keep moving at a fairly constant pace towards our next waypoint, so we don't have to request any stops and starts from the ship unless it's absolutely necessary.
Copy that, watch lead. I'll do my best to keep us on the roll.
Roger that. Okay, that's good.
Okay, zoom out. I've got more tether. Zoom out rolling. Not much here, huh? In terms of biology.
Not yet.
3, 2, 5. Yes. Thanks.
Finally, how do you feel about your arm light bar deployments?
I mean, does it look okay to you? It looks okay to me. We can put them out if you want.
In general, I like to have them out. Sirius view gets lit up further away. And if we can also have Sirius closer, typically, we get better imagery as well.
Well, you got to remember the tether's a few meters longer now.
Yeah.
And my co-pilot is being extra cautious, which is good. So I'm going to let him deal with the distance to D2, but he can certainly put the light bars out for you if you want.
Science team, if you spot anything that you want us to zoom in for a closer look on, please make sure you get that request to us. Okay, so yeah, Deb was asking if that was a greenish cast to the rocks or just the screen in the Exploration Command Center. No, it looks greenish to me.
All right, start with your starboard.
Looks like
here.
there might be some, that might be a microbial mat.
Yeah, just put them out like 20, 30 degrees. Yeah. Like that.
Pilot, I'm going to recall yesterday's presets on the camera.
Okay. That looks like more true color to me.
Yeah,
I think stuff changed.
Okay, so we're adjusting the color a little bit. So more brownish than green.
I have no confidence in the current color correction. If we have the time, I'd like to put the chip chart back out.
I think we want to keep moving today, is what I'm hearing from Watch Lead.
Yep, that's good.
Oh, there's a
there's an urchin.
Oh, zoom out and I'm getting closer. Okay, go ahead.
Deployed.
Okay, go ahead.
Deployed. Okay.
So we started somewhat far down the slope, it looks like, based on high pack. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So we're more in this sort of yellow beginning of the ridge.
Are we?
It looks like it. Or at least that we're
near the dive start target that we were given, maybe about 20 meters above it, actually, on the ridge.
Okay. Oh, really? Above it?
Yeah,
yep. We are above above it.
Yeah.
Further upslope.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, pilot.
Okay, video's clear. Do we have lasers on?
Get lasers,
Okay,
co-pilot.
that's good.
Oop.
Lasers are on.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to deploy your uppers here.
There you go.
Okay, coming around.
I would actually, you know how you say how you have them inward? It's actually better generally to have them outward so it spreads the light out more. Because you see how right now it's really bright in the middle and then really dark on the outside.
Oh yeah, you may swing them in.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Pilots, this is Nav. We are now 2/3 of the way through this move. Would you like me to increase on the same heading and the same range?
I think that would be fine.
Yeah, please. Yeah, we need to keep moving.
I think that's fine.
So we're fairly far up the slope.
Looks like a pretty
I'm a
mild
little
slope right
surprised by the
bridge from Nav.
By the fact that there's
so much rubble.
Yeah.
You
Hello,
happy with
Bridge.
that?
After this move,
Starboard,
can we
upper?
repeat again, please? Another move of
you can, I mean, all the way out is fine.
meters.
And then all the way
Down.
Deb Glixen, are you
Yes, you
surprised
can.
to see so much rubble this far up the slope?
Not
Copy
really.
that, Bridge. Perfect.
I
Thank you.
guess I would think there's 3,000 meters worth of, or I guess there's not. There's how many hundreds of meters are we down from the top of the slope?
From the top of the slope,
Give me a second,
just
I'll
a couple,
measure.
Thank you, Bridge.
a couple hundred, right?
Cool.
I mean, there's
Okay, so
still
now you want
places
your
for the
lower
rock to
swing
come
arms
down, and so
outward. Look at the
if there's
iron
nothing
first.
that's going to keep it from
He
anchoring
said
in
just
place,
he wants to keep moving smoothly through
if there's
the end
if
of this
there's
point.
an earthquake, if there's any kind of event, if there's
So what time did you call in
erosion,
the first
things roll
move?
downhill.
So, Deb, we are just
I called
under
in the first
300
move at
meters from
2306.
the crest of the ridge.
306. Okay.
Yeah, so I guess, I mean, personally, I'm not surprised. Patty,
Okay.
are you?
Patty is
fair?
actually, Patty just stepped out for lunch.
Of course. No, so I'm really not surprised by this, to be honest.
Okay.
Of course,
I
none of
brought
us really
your
knew what we were going to be looking at.
Starboard one a little bit in. Now I'm going to bring
By the way,
your
Patty didn't have lunch yesterday. I think she had lunch at
Port
about
one
5
a little
o'clock
in.
yesterday.
Can you zoom out on
I
high
try
pack
to
a bit,
remind you guys
Richard?
to
No, I got her a plate, and I brought it up here for her, but she just couldn't tear herself away from those, from the sulfur and the.
Silly volcanologists.
I know.
So obsessed with volcanoes.
I know.
High pack is
I
full
think we
screen
all
on
have those
stream
days.
3.
So for folks on shore, if you're
Okay,
looking
and
at video
your
screen
port
3, you
is
can
in
see
as
sort
well.
of where we are in relation to
Should
the
be happy.
ridge. We are going to be transiting
Are we
up
starting
the
to move
ridge.
yet?
And right now you see the little
I haven't felt
gray
anything
sort of
yet.
triangle shape
The
is
ship
our
says we're starting
boat.
to move, yes.
The little
Yeah,
tiny
1, 2.
blue square that
Actually, I'm
you
gonna bring
see,
your-
Yeah, if you're looking at the
Is-
quad,
Pulling
yeah,
up
that
a little
quad
bit,
view,
yeah.
yeah.
sorry, the little tiny white square that you see is Sirius. And the other small little black sort of circle with an X is Sirius.
Okay, pilots,
Serious,
290
deep
meters
sky.
Sorry,
to
the black
waypoint
X
2.
is Sirius. The little white square is
deep,
D2.
just
Okay.
I think we're starting
You
to
can
feel
also
that
see
move.
in
I'm
the corner of the
pushing
screen
out, so
Copy
the
that.
readings from our
we've got a little
ADCPs,
tether here. So
which are
8 to 10
our
minutes is
acoustic
our
Doppler
swing
current
time.
profilers,
Copy that.
which are
8 to
giving us an idea
10.
of what the currents are.
Swing arms are all deployed. If
And
you need
there's
the
also
adjustments,
a
let me know.
plot at the bottom
That looks
corner, which
pretty
gives
good.
us an idea of what the
To you,
currents are at
video.
the surface right now.
Yeah.
Got a polykey on the upper right. And also take notice that
If
we're
that's
about
another
5 degrees Celsius cooler.
Polykate? I don't
here
know.
than
Let's
when
see.
we
We
light
saw.
go ahead and zoom in.
Saw. What is that?
Oop.
Yep, looks like another polykete. We had an interesting midwater dive yesterday too. Okay, moving up the slope.
So yeah, actually we're seeing about an 8-minute delay in the ship move.
Okay.
To Sirius moving. So
Okay. Roger
we'll,
that.
we'll do our best to keep things moving.
White
Thank you, pilot.
object diagonally
So
right.
basically, this is Deb, sorry.
That's okay, Deb.
Following a tree slope. So we're following a bunch of, rocks that have essentially rolled off the top of the ridge. And like that large
I got you at
rock that
22 degrees.
we're passing
Okay.
right now and some of these larger
So
ones,
it's
like that one
something
could potentially
right
be
on
in
top of
place.
that
We don't
rock.
really
So
know.
in this kind of terrain, I mean, you could come
Obviously,
down to
most
10
of these
meters
don't
delta.
look like they're in
Yeah.
place.
No problem.
No problem.
And hopefully, as Scott France mentioned, on our event log among the scientists that as we move up the slope, it will eventually get to the point where we're at an outcrop rather than in this loose piles of pieces of rock.
Go ahead and zoom in. I'll move closer. That's a small one, isn't it? A little shell or something?
I think barnacle.
Snap zoom on something tiny like that.
Looks like it might be another barnacle, but I can't tell.
I can push in.
Yeah.
I just don't have a good... Yeah, I got plenty of tether.
There's also diagonally up from that was a little purple... I forget what those things are, the angel-looking things that...
Nav, this is Copilot.
Copy.
What was the heading on that last move? What was the bearing?
Should be 290, right?
290. Thank you.
Yeah, that 290 is based on the ship. It's quite likely we'll have to come a little bit sort of...
well, we had lined up Sirius with the, or D2 and Sirius with the slope. That's what we saw. So, yeah, that was something we requested, yeah. You can zoom in. Oop.
Deb, we're working on getting you some rock zooms.
Actually, I think what they're trying to see is what that organism is, which looks to me like it's a barnacle.
Right, but we can take advantage of the rock zooms for geology.
We get a twofer.
Right, Deb?
Yeah.
Yep, that's why I always enjoy it when you guys zoom in on the animals so that I can look at the rocks that are behind them.
It's the main thing. We do it just for you.
Looking at the rocks.
I know.
Purple
These guys are so covered in stuff that it's kind of hard to see what they are.
Next stop
Is
position.
that manganese
Would
over
to continue? Same bearing?
over
same
what would be the
range?
sort of original rock structure, or is
Yeah,
it
let's make it, well,
just
let me
that's
think.
what the rocks would look like covered in dust?
30 meters instead of 40.
I'm not sure. I don't think it's just sediment.
Potentially hit some seepage
I don't
stuff,
know if it's a manganese crust or not. That would be a great question for Patty when she comes back.
This is Copilot. Why zoomed all the way out
or
on my
possibly
zooms?
Chris Kelly, and I know he's around.
Thank you.
Chris, do you want to weigh in?
Bridge from Nav.
I can't tell whether that's manganese or not here. It didn't look like
do the
it's
same
particularly
again, please?
manganese
Can we
coated,
continue
but
when we reach
I'll look at a
the
lot
stop
more
position?
rocks.
Only this time can we restrict it to a range of
Thanks,
30 meters. Same bearing, 290, same speed, 0.2
What do you want to
knots.
see? Oh, the shrimp. Sorry, I was listening on nav video.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was.
Good copy, Bridge. Thank you.
So Deb, would you be able to tell us why? I heard Patty begin to explain sort of what Stegosaurus ridge would, why it would be the way it is, but why would the ridge be sort of curved towards the arc of the Marianas versus? So if you look at the arc of the Marianas, it kind of makes a backwards C. Why would Stegosaurus ridge be a correct direction C? Versus following the same pattern as the Marianas Trench and then the following arcs.
Rotate right and left, looking off into the distance of the slope.
I am going to totally leave that for Patty. She is an expert in the tectonics of this region because even the reasoning for why the Marianas is sort of banana-shaped is actually quite fascinating. It's basically how some of the areas are sort of pinned in place and can't move as they subduct or as the plates move towards one another. But Patty is a world-class expert on this, so I'm going to let her tackle that when she gets back and we have a free moment.
I see you got your fair share of hardball questions while you were out here, Deb, and now you don't want to answer them anymore.
So are there any rocks in particular we're interested in, or just is this kind of survey that I'm doing now? Okay.
We'll just survey them now.
Okay.
Because none of these look like they are in place. You know, they've tumbled down from up higher, I think.
So yeah, I would just keep moving.
Yeah, we're going to keep moving. We're going to move up to that rock outcrop, right, Scott?
Yes, just keep a close eye on.
Nav, this is Survey 1.
Survey 1 is calling you. What do you need, Survey 1? Oh, hold on. Go ahead.
White thing on that rock.
I'd guess maybe 40 degrees, somewhere around there.
Pretty good. Pretty decent. Yeah. About a 40-degree slope. Okay. There's something in the center of the screen.
So, folks on shore, we just got
above the lasers.
Yep.
Estimate from our pilots about it's about a 40-degree slope that we're climbing right now, which to me seems a little high to have this much
I know.
rubble.
No, I don't really think so. I mean, it's a high slope, it's a high angle slope, but it can still roll down.
Go ahead, Roland.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, geologically, I'm sure it makes sense. Just from my common knowledge, it seemed a little odd to me. I thought we'd be on a hard, with a 40-degree slope when we are usually looking at multi-beam bathymetry. With that high slope, we normally think we'll see a hard feature.
Yeah.
I was going to say sponge on this. It's kind of gelatinous, though.
With the sponge reference.
There's a little creature at the bottom, yeah.
Yep.
Shirley, I think you're right. I think it is a sponge, and I think it's a hexact.
Yeah, I think
a star on it too.
Could be in the family Urididae or something like that.
Yeah. Get your little critter.
When we were first approaching it, Chris, it looked like it was kind of gelatinous. Okay. Oh, this is one of these amphipods on a stick, like we saw a few days ago. Apparently, these are sticks that the amphipods make.
Looking good for a pilot.
Yeah,
apparently, they can have their little families living on the stick,
degrees.
except I only see one on here now.
How do they make the stick?
I guess they pick up little bits of mud and debris and stick them all together.
At the requested stop position.
Interesting.
What would you like me to do next? Continue?
I would say just keep calling in maybe 30-meter moves, just because, we want to keep an eye on it, because we may eventually hit, we're coming up on steeper stuff and may hit a rock wall or something, but we want to keep things moving, and we can back the ship up if we really need to.
Something
okay,
right
copy
lasers.
that. I'll repeat the same again.
It may just be a rock shadow. And right above lasers. That's all.
Bridge from nav.
Hello, I think
Bridge.
I see a
Can
fish
I
or
request
something.
the same again, please?
Yeah.
Range 30, bearing 290.
Assume it will.
Point 2.
And I'll try to frame it up.
Oh, we got a fish, our first fish of the day.
And hold there.
Good copy, Bridge. Thank you.
Chris, you know what that is?
Well, this fish is in the family Okeanos.
It's got some interesting scars on the head.
Beyond, and that's a cusk eel. Beyond that, I'm trying to see some distinctive feature, and I'm not seeing it, so I don't know what genus it belongs to.
I'll let him go.
Yep, I concur.
Nice. And we can look at this rock while we're at
We
it.
got something on his right-hand edge.
Yeah?
The
got a little spire here or something.
I can see over it. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not tall, but yep. I'm going to push out and look at it.
Yeah, I'm coming up with you.
Yep, looks like we've got a bit of an outcrop here.
See, there you go. You wait long enough and you find beautiful rock.
Mm-hmm.
That looks much more
Well,
what I was
fish
expecting.
swimming over it, too.
See, it's good for everyone.
Yeah, I can see maybe 56, 57 meters.
We aim to please, folks.
Looks good.
Cool.
I'm happy.
Good.
How much?
Just got some features here that we can see over it, which is good.
We are at
push out ahead. We can look at this
3,192
outcrop.
meters, about 4 meters off of the bottom. Yep, sponge up at about 10 o'clock position.
You want to look at the sponge watch lead?
And get a snap zoom.
Okay.
Pilots, just for your knowledge, for the next 120 meters, for every 30 meter we head towards the waypoint, you should incline about 15 meters.
Okay. Thank you, Nav.
So it's about
maybe inertia.
45 degrees. Okay. That's about right.
So I don't want to be going too fast.
Yeah. We can do 0.1 from here on out. That'll give us some time to look at stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, especially if it's...
Are those the spicules coming out of it?
I'm happy.
Yes.
That's interesting. Is that normal?
Yeah, I just don't want to swing into anything, you know?
Yep.
Yeah,
Keep an eye on your sonar.
for some sponges it is. I actually wanted to make sure. Yeah,
it's not
for some there's some
long,
sponges in the order Astrophorida, especially some of these geodeids. So it's a geodia sponge, like a geode. When you think of a rock geode,
I do have a pretty hard return here, though. I
spherical.
can't see over it 40 meters out.
Any more tilt
And some of them have these.
So
Those things hurt you too. When if you pick those up, you better be double gloved and triple gloved, or use forceps because they are going to hurt.
Does the inside look particularly different too? Like
the inside looks different. So if you slice through it, there's those very thick cortex, and that cortex is made up of silica spicules that look like little starbursts.
I got you.
Oh,
so sometimes that can be as as thin as maybe a millimeter. Sometimes it can be 5 millimeters or more thick, and then slice through it. Then it kind of the inside is different consistency.
Yeah, a little outcrop that comes out, and you just can't see over it,
Okay, pilots, we're 10 meters off the next requested stop. Do we all agree 30 meters, 290.1 knots this time?
290 still look good to you?
Yeah, 295, something like that.
Okay,
290 is fine.
Looks like we're getting back into that
coming up.
talus slope.
Bridge from...
I'll push up.
Talus slope. Is it talus or talus?
I say talus.
Talus. You say talus. Talus.
Good, I request another move, please, just to continue on. And we'll have this time 30 meters range, bearing 290, and a speed of 0.1 knots this time.
You're a little off to my starboard.
Come in port.
Good copy, Bridge, thank you.
Hi, this is Bob Stern. To me, that looks like outcropping fractured basement. Do we have a sample yet?
We do not.
Well, let's keep the wind shear. It looks like I can see over it, so I'm going to let you explore.
Okay. Right on the rock.
You could lateral.
I'll lateral over
I think
here.
if you try and pick up any of that stuff, it'll be stuck.
Right.
Go ahead and zoom in.
Interesting creature straight in the center. I assume the pilot's zooming in on it. Yep.
Is that an acidic?
Is that a tunicate?
Is that a tunicate with a brittle star on it?
Lasers, let me know.
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it's an octonemic tunicate of some kind, or something
Sea
close
squirt.
to it, a carnivorous tunicate.
Yep. Okay, these are tunicates. Another common name for tunicates are sea squirts, and we've got a brittle star that's on it. We haven't seen that many tunicates so far.
Okay, zoom out. Get lasers on.
What always boggles my mind about...
Lasers coming on.
Oh, go ahead, Jeb.
Oh, I was just going to say, we actually saw a number on leg 1, and it's true. I don't think we've seen as many on this leg as we did on leg 1.
Right.
So one thing that always boggles my mind about tunicates is that they are somewhat close relative to ours compared to a lot of the other organisms that we see in the deep sea.
They are in their larval stage. They have a structure that's called a notochord, and so in fact they're primitive chordates. We're chordates, so they're urochordates, and they have this primitive structure called a notochord. So they're of the, I guess, I don't know, of the invertebrates or pseudo-invertebrates, they are as close to vertebrates as probably you can get.
Even though they still look fairly alien.
Well, these all look pretty alien, don't you think?
Yeah.
20 meters out from me is the
So,
contact.
Deb, is this another
I'm going to
flow?
keep coming up, pilot.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, we're slowing down the
is
ship.
that a coronaster?
Let's.
I'm going to
the
wait
top of it
till
here.
Bob Stern's feed catches
stop
up
the
and
ship.
let him talk about
We can
this
look
when he sees it, because I think that he'll have some really interesting stuff to say. Oh, these guys are massive. Look at
Coming
this.
up ahead.
Yeah, we want to look
So
at this
I think
closely.
Bob's a little bit more
Bridge
delayed,
from
but when
now.
this comes back up, hopefully he'll call in.
Hello, Bridge. Can you
I'm here,
stop the
but
ship,
you're
please?
right, I'm
And
delayed.
hold
I
position here.
Stuff is going around in circles.
Do we
I
want to
just see this
look more
fractured
closely at this
basement.
cliff watch lead? Or do we want to keep moving?
Sound
I'd
like
say
they
keep
want-
moving.
Tell us
Oh.
about it, Bob.
Stop the winch.
They want to keep moving.
Yeah, go ahead and keep
Well,
moving.
I mean, I think Patty can.
We are making some tracks right now.
We are, yeah.
I'm just looking at
Well,
waypoints.
this was 3,000 meters, so
I mean,
my idea of where the moho is that it's got around 6,000 meters. So this should be mostly volcanic rock. Some of those forms look
So,
like they
Roland,
might
we are trying to get sort of to the more
need
consolidated.
a sample at some point.
So,
yeah.
what bearing gets Sirius to, well, I know it's kind of tough right now. Probably go by sonar. 290 still looks good. Let's do 290. About how many meters is it from Sirius to? Still, yeah.
So
I think 100 meters at 0.1. I think that's smart. Yeah. So we're gonna put in a long ship move. We'll keep moving, but we're gonna move a little bit slower. Just in case there is anything interesting to look at.
Okay, that's a go.
Yeah.
Bridge from nav.
Yeah. So we're just trying to cover ground today.
Nice to get a geologic
Science is
sample
kind of
at
your
some
Could we
point.
have
priority.
another move, please?
Rather than
And this time we'll have a
Agreed.
range of
Yep.
100 meters, bearing 290, speed 0.1 knots.
Outcrop.
Good copy, Bridge. Thank you.
Not perfect timing to stop and grab something, though. I didn't see anything that was grab-able. No.
Yeah,
nothing.
just when
Yeah.
you do.
Yep.
A little black rise out of the sediment.
I wonder. I guess we're moving too quick to take a peek at this stuff.
Oh, we just slowed down to 0.1 watch
Any
lead. So.
steps in?
Okay.
Maybe
Oh,
the
and a
fish.
fish.
Yeah, sure.
We
Go
do
ahead.
need to stop here and look at the fish.
His mouth looks
And
different.
while we do, if we see any loose rocks,
Oop.
they
trying
would
to
be
get a
welcome.
focus.
Pilot, I wonder if you can hear me when I depress the talk button.
You have to talk to me individually.
Okay. I am actually doing that right now, but
Yep,
we
and I
had
can
trouble
hear you.
yesterday.
Yeah, but I can hear you great right now.
Can hear me great right now?
Not right now. But
Now you can.
now I can. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's working again. That's good. So, folks at home, what is this critter? Looks like an eel.
So this guy is a cutthroat eel in the family Synaptobranchidae.
Oh, thank you,
And
Chris.
the things you look at when you're trying to identify this group, which is very difficult to identify the genus, is the tail. The tail looks like it kind of has a little crook in it. That's one thing that a lot of synaptobranchids look like, and it's as though the lower part of the tail sort of notches up, so it forms an irregular, it's not
Yeah.
Zoom out.
uniform size right at the tail. Second thing is you look at how far up the dorsal fin, and on this one, the dorsal fin is going way up near the head.
Yes.
See it there very nicely, that view, and I think
Yeah,
that
that's all we
leads, one possibility would lead to Synaptobranchus, that genus. You look at the lateral line on
Watch out.
these, and you look at how far
Copy
the
that.
mouth extends back behind the eye. It
Okay.
didn't extend that far back. Other characters, but I don't know them very well. Unfortunately, Bruce isn't with us today, so that's the best I can do.
Pilot, are there any loose rocks just...
Are we looking to sample?
Yeah,
We need to stop the ship.
are.
Stop the ship.
Yep.
Or lasers.
No, you want to keep it going.
I think there's a loose one just at the bottom of the screen sitting on. Okay,
right. Well,
just.
I got to push out first.
Yeah, sure enough.
We're going to keep the ship moving.
Oh, okay.
It's going to have to quick.
Maybe we'll find another one.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a quick, easy sample.
Yeah, real quick.
Right, understood. Yeah, most of these are stuck in place.
The ship needs to turn to port because of the strength of the wind.
So a couple days ago, we'd had a question on Facebook about why the elongated
center of rotation.
There's so many fish in the deep sea that have sort of elongated body types, and why they swim like that.
Now this looks like a contact between different rock types.
As long as you turn over the.
So Bruce Monday actually provided us with some information about this sort of elongate tapered body. Is very common in the deep sea because it's thought to be the easiest form of swimming that uses the least amount of energy. So it often happens that we will see a lot of these elongated shapes in fish in the deep sea.
You looked at the curve striations.
Not a whole lot of tether left, pilot.
Bruce also mentioned that elongated body allows for increased development
so the ship is going decimal one
pressure
now?
sensing organisms along the side of the body, like the lateral line
slow
system.
Down pretty soon.
So in a lightless environment
so let's
like
look
the deep
at this,
sea,
and then there's some
there are
loose rocks
senses
up
other
ahead.
than vision
Looks
that are
like
very
a little
important.
more tether.
So this elongated body helps them survive and have a successful life in the deep sea. And it looks like we have...
It's been 0.1 for the last two moves.
Okay.
You can go ahead, zoom in.
More rocks to look at.
Crinoid. I think those curves up there are very interesting. That may be part of that mud volcano extrusion they were talking about earlier.
Okay, zoom out. It's kind of a neat feature there.
So does anyone have a comment about the layering in that rock?
Before we do, I think I saw a coral that would now be just off the left of the screen. It was white.
There was a coral to the left of the screen that was white.
You got a second.
White.
Right there at the base.
Thanks, Scott. We relaying the information.
Somewhere down lower.
That small white branch? Is that what you're looking for, Scott?
Just watch the swing arms
It was in the distance, so I'm not entirely certain. I think it's at the base of this outcropping that I think we're just passing over. It's probably off the screen, lower left for you already.
Oh.
Could be off the screen, lower left, pilot.
So, Ms. Bob's turn. Do you want to talk about the layering now?
Swing arms are happy.
I'm staying pretty far off the wall.
Yeah, Bob, do you think this is sedimentary?
No.
So, Ash, you think this is good rock?
Part where
I think it's way
the
below.
margin
I think it's too late.
by the
it's okay.
sort of northwest motion of the Pacific Plate relative to the Marianas. So I think these are foliate.
Kind of feels like we're moving to point one
foliation.
now, huh?
Folia is
I like it.
Latin for layering, like folia or leaves. So these are not original sedimentary layering. These are probably not sedimentary rocks.
Sure.
These are probably old volcanics. I'm guessing here.
Yeah, I agree with you.
40 million years.
You can actually see very fine layering, and the image that'll come into the screen right in a few seconds. Really, really fine.
Okay.
Yep.
Everything can be modified.
And okay. Wow, beautiful imagery of this layering here. Could be flow layering though, or ash, ash deposits maybe.
Partial.
I don't know. It's pretty strikingly distinct with a series of fine layers. Can you see that, Bob, now? Not sure what you are seeing.
Oh, I'm still things are going around and around for me.
Okay, well, we'll wait a moment until you get a good look. We're looking right now on the ship here. We're seeing, I don't know, can we, pilot, can we have the lasers on so we can get scale?
Les Watling has also mentioned there was a branch coral below where we are now. Which I'm not sure if we can look at it.
What was that survey or watch lead?
Apparently there was a branched coral that was down below this formation, so I don't know if you can get back down to it. It might be down by the skids.
I think that happened several minutes ago.
Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll have our video engineer, Roland Bryan, keep a sharp eye out for coral.
Okay,
and we'll try to predict it next time.
I think that happened several minutes ago.
I think you're right.
We're definitely well past
Can we zoom in on these lighter layers?
Yes.
Thank you.
Can.
They're getting a good look at the geology here. I was hoping that we would see well-exposed rocks on this face of the Stegosaurus Ridge that we're diving on, but I'm delighted that it's as good as it is. We do have teeny tiny little biological things. What are these things? Does Casey know?
I was going to ask if we can get a little closer for him.
Can we zoom in a little closer to see what the fuzzy things are in the rocks?
Sure.
They're probably critters.
I'm about to set my toe down and we'll get stable.
Okay, thank you.
Certainly do that.
It looks to me like there might be some material that could be sampled.
Okay, go ahead.
For geology.
A lot of times the sort of fuzz like this ends up being hydroids, but you don't know until you look.
It doesn't actually look like hydroids have branching arms, right?
Yeah, this does not look like hydroids. Any thoughts on shore?
Fuzzy stuff. Yeah. Folks on shore.
Co-pilot.
Who knows what this is?
Good.
We refer to this as spooge.
Spooge. In other words,
and what is that?
Biological stuff.
Yeah, this is a good pace for this
stuff
terrain.
That we don't know what it is. Could be bacterial, could be foraminifera. We just have no idea. So we can use the term spooge.
Over there on the left.
So a DC term that was coined, I think, back in the 80s was...
you going for that white thing close?
Megafauna.
Sure am.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, megafauna, I believe it was, which was those animals that were big enough to be seen and identified in photographs. So I'd say spooge is probably all that stuff less than that.
Right. Well, as we zoom in here, pilot, if you happen to see a rock that looks pick-upable, like the one in the far left of the screen looks like it's loose.
Also looks like 30
It's kind of sitting at an angle.
We can either, we'll snap zoom on the white thing, we'll push out a bit, and we'll look for a rock.
Sure, that's
great. We've slowed down to 0.1 knots, so we're at a slow, steady pace, but still making tracks, so go ahead and zoom in.
Thank you, pilot.
We
This looks like a snail. Ooh, okay, shore folks. Our biology lead is off eating her lunch, so help! This guy has his foot well extended, and his, his mouth is sticking out the front there. This is a beautiful display. Do you know what it is? Tina says it's a gastropod. We figured that out. But what kind?
I don't think we'll know what kind of gastropod is a snail, and you can see that white elongate structure going up to the left.
Let's
that's
the
the
swing
foot
arms.
of the snail, the muscular foot, and I can see a couple of tentacles pointing downwards. So just like the garden snails and shallow water snails, it has the same sort of structure. It can pull all that soft part of the foot back into the shell when it's disturbed. And I would guess that it is probably feeding on bacteria that are growing on the rock.
Upper string out?
That sounds great, Scott. Thank you. Is the thick tube-like structure coming out of the front of the shell
Siphon.
a siphon? Ha!
So who wants to tell folks on shore who aren't familiar with it what a siphon is?
So that's where it would pull in water, and there are gills inside that first whorl of the shell. And so it pull in the water and remove oxygen using the gills in order to respire. but also there's a structure in there that allows it to detect chemicals in the water. So it's essentially smelling the same sort of way we would use our nose. So perhaps it is looking at bacteria, perhaps it's looking for prey.
Crinoid on the left, lower part of the screen.
Might have to adjust our bearing here.
Okay. You want me to bring your upper in real quick?
Yes.
I think we're going to zoom.
We can zoom on the
crinoid. There is a crinoid in the lower left corner of the screen. So folks at home, what the pilot does is he moves the huge high-definition camera that's right in the middle of the front of the ROV into position. Then he asks the videographer to zoom. And this is a beautiful, beautiful critter. You can see the little cirri that grip the rock underneath the arms.
Okay, let's zoom out. I want to push ahead here.
Little squat lobster.
A little view there.
Just above it.
Oh, pilot, there's a little squat lobster above it.
Yep.
Still
I need,
have to move.
Yeah, I gotta move.
I know.
That's the priority today, right?
Right.
And I want to push out so I can get you a rock, too.
Okay.
Upper swing arms all the way up.
Thanks.
Patty, we might be able to slow down a little bit if people want to further investigate this. I mean, we want to keep moving, but maybe not this quickly.
Yeah,
we're moving at 0.1, which is
about as slow.
Slow. But the thing is, if we stop, it's going to take 20 to 30 minutes to get going again. So we'll do our best to compromise.
Maybe we stop, settle out, grab a rock, and then do shift change. I don't know.
Yeah, folks on shore, if we want to get a sample on this rock face,
at this speed,
and pilot, there is a boulder right in the middle of the screen.
Yes.
Can you get in toward that guy?
Sure.
I think that's loose. I think that might be easy to pick up. Now it's relatively in place. Oh, I don't know. As we get closer, it looks like it might be stuck to the formation. But
Patty,
to
where
the
are you
center, you're a little behind us. Yeah, you're about 10 seconds behind.
So we're only a couple of seconds behind.
Okay. I'm seeing a rock nestled against a fault or a little scarp. It's right at the bottom of the screen. Right at the bottom of the screen.
I think I see what you're talking about.
Solid.
That might work good.
That one at the bottom of the screen is solid.
That one's solid too, huh?
Left of lasers is a black rock.
Yeah, it looks pretty well cemented in there. Or it's just part of the rock.
I think that black rock is a shadow of the rock that's outcropping right above it.
What about one of these here?
The black rocks are not part of what we're actually looking at.
One of the dark ones, or are you trying to get the light material?
The light material.
Something like that?
I think you'd want to go for something that looks like it's not in place.
That's not in place, so no. Maybe what we need to do, pilot, is to slow down just a little bit while we go through this material, see if we can.
Well, so at this point, it would take us about 15 minutes to stop. We're already moving at 0.1, which is our slowest speed. We're stretched out right now. I mean, if we can find something, I can pick it up before we have to move.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. So I see that Sirius is kind of behind us at 45-degree angle. So
yep.
How long do you have, how long would you need in order to be able to grab something?
I could grab a rock real quick here.
Watch your stern quarter, at least on this view. It looks
well, let's zoom out a little on the video and see if we can see something that might be loose that is part of the outcropping face.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Okay, thanks.
We are full wide.
So what we're looking at right here, folks at home, this is talus, or material that has slid down the slope from up above. So if we want to pick up a sample of what is more or less in place, part of the outcrop we're looking at, so that we can get an idea of its relationship to the geological formation. We need to find a chunk of this stuff that looks just like the outcrop and has just kind of fallen down, is resting at the base of it. So maybe we'll go upslope a little further.
I see what you're saying.
Squat lobster.
And see if we can find a rock that looks just like the wall. In the meantime, we see a squat lobster that's white off to the upper left.
Wow, Patty, your eyes are good.
Upper left squat lobster.
It's a big one, too.
I hadn't gotten that was a squat lobster until just now. Nice eyes.
Roland had pointed out this little piece of rock here. Down and see if it's
There's a rock here immediately left of lasers, which actually protrudes out.
I can't hear you, Roland.
Oh, yeah.
I was talking to
see
science
that.
only.
Yes, the rock that's just, the lasers are touching it now. Roland, is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, he may be able to
loose.
bump it with a skid.
Let's see if...
It's definitely sedimented in, but it looks like it may break off if he lightly taps it or sits
and
down
that
on it.
is part of this formation, whatever this formation is.
So is that what we want?
Yes, it is. Thank you, pilot.
See how it's
Zoom out.
cracked there? It sort of looks like it might continue to crack.
Maybe. We could try it out, Roland.
You'll probably want to tilt your HD2 down to see if it...
That would have been a beautiful rock sample.
So I do see hard return, but I also see over it.
Okay.
Just to give you a heads up.
Thanks. I mean, I think I might be able to just knock it with the craft. But we'll try this. Yep. Oh, that's real loose. There you go. Very crumbly. What do you think, watch lead? I can't hear you.
Your mic's not open.
I think that would be fine if you use a gentle touch.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
So is this going to be real crumbly? Should we put it in the bio box or?
Yeah, we could, if you're able to get the, if you're able to extend it enough.
Hydraulics up. All right, pilot. I got a good delta on you, and I'd like a second opinion on my sonar, though. Is that out of range, or is that not seen over it?
I think we're getting up to this flat area.
Okay. So you're happy? Try gaining up, maybe.
Yeah.
It's not a really hard return. It's just.
Yeah. I mean, you see, I think we're near the top of this thing.
Okay.
And
so if you're gonna do this, let's do it.
Yeah. I think we'll be okay.
Oh gosh.
And let's prepare the starboard bio box.
So yeah,
10-4.
less consolidated than we had thought.
Mm-hmm.
Hydraulics up?
The hydraulics are ready.
Okay.
Starboard prepared. Yeah. Do you want me to take your mini?
Sure.
Okay, so this may be a little tricky collection, just because the rock it obviously broke up off its outcrop.
Okay.
Looks highly fractured. But a gentle.
That is real crumbly.
I wonder, pilot, if you tried just grasping the pile on which it sat, maybe be able to grab something there that would come off in the claws. Oh, it's so soft.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I don't know that we're going to be able to do this, folks.
Did we think it was going to be that soft?
I did not. I think.
I'm feathering in a grip force of 1.
Okay.
Which is
the lowest
You're
you
trying.
can go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Now, well, folks.
What about any of these up here?
You can do the
They may
method
not be
where
in
you
place,
put the
though.
box
I don't
against
think
the
they
wall
are.
and shove something into
It
it.
suggests
I'm
this
not
is
doing that.
unconsolidated. Well, semi-consolidated,
That's a jet
maybe
planing maneuver.
ashy sediment. Okay.
As Scott Francis pointing out, seeing this as the rock in this area explains why we haven't seen any corals or sponges.
Yeah, this is just too difficult for them to get a good hold on, except for things like the crinoids. Okay, pilot, I don't think we're going to be able to grab anything here.
Hydraulics spool down.
Okay.
If we still have some time
I got
here,
you at
could we
52, so I'm
zoom on
not
that white
super
spot
worried,
lobster?
but
Yep, we'll do a quick
take a
zoom of the
look.
squat lobster, and then I gotta
Move
get
along.
you moving here.
Thank you.
Gotta move along.
Do a snap zoom video.
I am wondering where the black rocks are coming from. They may be upslope, and maybe we'll see something up there that we can grab that's, a real rock, rather than layered formation. Oh, this is a nice guy. So, folks at home, what is this What is this little squat lobster called?
I'm gonna push out here pretty soon.
Can anybody write me a name in the chat log?
Yeah, I got.
Yeah, so I put in the family name a little bit earlier. This is in the family Munidopsidae, and it is a squat lobster. And right now, I'm just trying to figure out what species or what genus it's in.
Okay.
It's got an interesting looking rostrum.
And the
Chris is looking that up. I can just point out to you.
Oh,
that
the pointy thing in the front.
Two little stubby structures sticking over the large legs. Those are the reduced fifth legs that can clean underneath the abdomen.
And which ones are those, Scott, in the picture right now?
We'll walk it down a little bit.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Which legs?
Which, can you describe?
That's about as far as I want to get.
We were talking over you for a minute, so where?
Oh, yeah, I was saying if you look towards the back there, you'll see the four large legs. You see two little stubby structures sticking up.
All right, let's zoom out.
They look like they're coming out just where the abdomen is curled under, or where the carapace for the front half of the body ends. Those are the fifth legs that are reduced. This is a decapod, so a decapod would have 10 legs, basically 5 pairs of legs on the thorax. The fifth pair are very, very highly reduced in this group and can be used to clean underneath the abdomen.
Thanks, Scott.
As we zoomed in on that squat lobster, what we saw, I think, was volcanic clastic debris. And there are some rocks. Pilot, there are some black rocks up here at the top that look loose.
Yep.
And I think we'll see them along the top of the ridge.
Yeah, okay.
If you're able to pick one up, there were a bunch over on the left-hand side.
Stop on the winch here, I'm happy.
Okay.
Rotate
how many more meters do we point to?
Pilots, we are now 50 meters away from the next stop point.
Okay, so it's pretty flat from here on out.
And I see something.
Yeah, we could look for a rock real quick.
I see something white in the distance on the
Josh
right that is long
wants to grab it, he
and
can.
straight and close to the bottom. And I don't know whether it's a fish.
Otherwise, I'm happy to. So these rocks over here on the left.
Looks like it might be a
Watch lead.
Yep, I think it's a fish too.
Watch lead.
Yeah, any of the rocks in that dark rock pile, those look like they're going to be volcanic and harder.
I think
Pretty
so.
sure. There's a rock.
One of these.
Center bottom of the screen.
So we are looking for dark ones now.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the light stuff is all volcanic clastic layers.
Yeah,
that
we don't have much time. I could grab it quick.
Yep, that'd be great if you can.
I'm back. What did I miss? Did you collect anything?
We tried.
Oh, okay.
Yep, we tried. We're going to quickly zoom in here and see if we can grab one of these dark rocks. And then, folks at home, we're going to have a switch out of our front row. And we are doing that now. We have a new ROV pilot,
got you at
he is the one who's going to be picking up
20-meter delta,
the rock sample for us.
Going decimal 1.
So the pilot's
hydraulics
co-pilot
ready to go.
And the pilot
Everything's
and
empty.
the
Anywhere you
navigator
want
can get relieved around lunchtime so they can go eat. And we'll have a whole new group that we can introduce to you shortly.
And who are you?
Me? I am your geology lead, Patty Fryer. I'm a research professor at the University of Hawaii, Manoa, and the Hawaii Institute of Geophysics and Planetology. And our bio lead is back from lunch.
I had a brownie. I must confess, I had a brownie.
I took one and put it in the fridge for later.
In the fridge in our cabin?
Yes.
Oh, you should have not told me that.
I know. If you get there first, I'm doomed.
I am Shirley Pomponi. I have a weakness for chocolate. I'm a research professor at Harbor Branch Oceanographic Institute at Florida Atlantic University and the director of NOAA's Cooperative Institute for Ocean Exploration Research and Technology.
Oh gosh, that one looks really crumbly too.
Are you not wanting crumbly rocks, or?
Well, pilot, actually, we would like a rock from up here, even if it's crumbly. The black is probably manganese coating.
That one underneath is do you think that one underneath by the lasers is attached?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think any of these would be good if you can.
Why would these have manganese coating and the ones just slightly downslope do not? I'm not getting this at all.
Me either. I'm not sure, Chris.
Is it possible the stuff down below is fresher and is rolled down?
Starboard report.
The stuff that we saw down below, I had a question. I guess it was Roland who was asking.